Like millions of Americans, Missy Peters' mood changes with the seasons.
Generally, I'm a happy person.
But in the winter, she gets the blues. That's because of a seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, which produces symptoms similar to hibernation.
You look outside, you're not as motivated to do things, and you just kind of would rather sit around and eat.
The reason people get SAD is because of the decreased sunlight in the winter, which can disrupt our circadian rhythm, also known as our body clock. Blame it on hormones. Melatonin, which makes us feel tired, is triggered by darkness and reaches its highest levels at night. But people like Missy also have increased melatonin levels during the day. Then there's serotonin, which is triggered by sunlight and makes us feel happy. But people with SAD have low levels of serotonin. Dr. Wayne Reynolds says the disorder severely affects 5% of Americans, and another 20% have a mild case and don't even realize it.
Interestingly, a lot of people will put on weight, and we've always sort of blamed it on the winter months. People are less active in the winter months, but interestingly, people with SAD have a craving for carbohydrates, tend to overeat during the winter months, and end up putting some weight on as a result of this medical condition.
Women are usually affected more than men, and it's more prevalent in northern climates. But Reynolds says these people don't need to suffer anymore.
And so many people tend to ignore it and just chalk it off as the winter blues. And what's important is that there are options and there are treatments for it.
Light therapy is a very effective treatment. It involves sitting in front of a specialized light box for 30 minutes a day. It needs to have a power of 10,000 lux, which is more than 20 times stronger than the average light bulb.
It's like sitting outside, sitting at the beach or under the sun. It doesn't emit any heat, but it's just a very bright light, kind of like the sun. It's kind of like your own personal box of sunshine.
Tanning beds are not an acceptable treatment because they emit ultraviolet rays, which can cause melanoma. Dr. David Pariser, past president of the American Academy of Dermatology, says there is never a good reason to step into a tanning bed.
The World Health Organization has classified ultraviolet tanning equipment as known carcinogens. It's just clearly the case, despite arguments from the tanning industry that otherwise tanning causes skin cancer.
In addition to a light box, you can also brighten your winter by using higher wattage light bulbs, installing a skylight, or simply opening the blinds. If you have SAD and work in a dark environment like the CBN newsroom, which has no windows, make it a point to spend a few minutes outside every hour or so.
And one of the other recommendations too is sometimes, and people have been doing this for years and maybe not realizing that it really helps them, but take a winter vacation and get down to the Caribbean, and especially if you live in those northern climates.
Or instead of giving in and reaching for your comforter, reach for your gym bag instead. Exercise pumps oxygen into the brain, making us alert and energetic. Exercise also releases endorphins, neurotransmitters that create a feeling of euphoria.
If there's a day I'm having a bad day, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, sometimes working out reverses all of that. So I come into the gym, I forget about my problems, I concentrate on what I'm actually doing physically, and it helps me mentally.
So if you suffer from seasonal affective disorder or an occasional case of the winter blues, a few lifestyle changes can help you enjoy winter, and spring will be here before you know it. Lori Johnson, CBN News.